Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. My name is Valentina, and I'm part of the marketing team here in Ironhack. And today, very excited because I'm sharing this stage with Daute. Hey, Daute, how are you?
Hey, Vale, all good here. I hope that everyone likes this session. As they know, always technical, always introduction, but cybersecurity nowadays is really important. So that's the reason that we are here, of course.
Totally. Well, Daute will be leading this session today, okay? He will be talking about inbox bait, basically understanding and preventing phishing scams. So very excited for this session. But before we start, I would love to mention just a few things, okay, to keep in mind during our session. The first one is that this webinar, it's been recorded, okay? So no worries if you miss anything, if maybe you need to go and grab a coffee or need to leave earlier, no worries. Tomorrow at this same hour, you will receive an email with the entire recording, okay? Also, I would love to highlight a little bit about like this virtual experience, because if you are on your computer, you are seeing like different widgets on your screen, like squares, and also a toolbar in the bottom of your screen, right? And if you are on your mobile, you are seeing also this toolbar, okay, in the bottom of your screen. So what are those things, okay? The first one is a speaker's bio, okay? This is basically all the information about Daute, who is him, what he does, and especially there's ways to connect with him as well. So feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn or even send him an email. He will be more than happy to it. Then we have Ask Your Question Here session, okay? This is also very important because Daute will be answering all of your questions at the end of the session. So feel free to ask anything in this box, okay? And please do not ask in the chat because for sure it would get lost. So let's focus the questions in here. Then we have related content, okay? This is also very important because Daute not only prepared an amazing session, he also prepared very nice resources for all of you related to this topic, okay? So feel free to dig into it. And well, last but not least, we also have the chat, okay? If you guys are not seeing the chat, no worries at all. This is normal, okay? You need to open the chat. And how you open it, you need to go to the toolbar and click on Ironhack chat, okay? And then you will see it. We would love to keep this chat super active, so feel free to to talk in the chat, to share with us any thought, any comment, any feedback. And also, if you would like to share with us where you guys are based on, that will be amazing. And well, last but not least, I would also like to do a little bit of an intro about basically who are we, in case that any of you maybe don't know those, okay? So basically here in Ironhack, we are a tech school, okay? We are disruptive and we are teaching in-demand tech skills of the future, but today we are doing this through boot camps, okay? We have two types of boot camps. I have to say both of them very intensive and immersive. The first one, it lasts 3 months, okay? And the second one lasts 6 months, okay? It's full-time and part-time, okay? Very focused on learning by doing. And something very important about our boot camps is that are super outcome focused. That means that we really want to make sure that all of our students are job ready to thrive in their tech career of their dreams or even build their own products. We have 4 different courses here in Ironhack. We have web development, UX, UI design, data analytics, and the one that I believe interests you the most, that it's cybersecurity. We are basically worldwide, okay? And I think this is basically the main reason why we usually have like a lot of like audience all around the globe, okay? We have 9 different campuses around the world plus remote, and that basically allowed us to reach so many people. Actually, we recently graduated 10,000 alumni. Well, recently, no, I mean, in our whole history, we have graduated 10,000 alumni, and we are very proud of that. And of course, well, we have a very supportive global community. And well, something very cool that we recently launched is that we launched our hybrid campuses. So what are these? These are basically the best of both worlds. Okay, this is totally remote education, but you guys will be able to interact with other students at our hubs. Okay, and something that it's super key is that you will also be able to meet and network with local companies. Okay, we have those hybrid campuses on Dusseldorf, Germany, London, and also Tampa, Florida. And well, last but not least, I would love to say just let's get started. I know you all are here to hear our dear Daute, so let's go for it.
All right. Thank you, Valentina, for the introductions. As always, I love you. And welcome everyone to today's webinar. My name is Daute Delgado, as you know. Today we will talk about phishing. I guess that at least 70% that are present here today, you already know what is phishing. Nowadays is really trending, but actually we are a bit lost about how many types of phishing exist. What is the phishing exactly? How can we prevent or not prevent? Because maybe it's not the best word. Our word today is how can we avoid it? Because we are clicking, suddenly we are clicking everything on internet, and phishing exists in internet. So let's get started. As I said, sorry. Vale, do you listen me? Vale.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, sorry for the spectators, but I don't see the screen. I mean, I don't see the slide.
Okay.
Technical issues.
Yeah, I can perfectly see it. Okay, give me
May you
one
try from your
second.
side?
I don't see it. Can you guys maybe confirm to us if you guys are able to see it? Oh, Dao, what if you share your screen? Hold you?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Thanks.
Sorry, it's lives. Problems.
This is just the life, the life.
All right.
Okay, in the meantime, I'm right now seeing we have people from all over the world, like Portugal and the Netherlands. That's awesome. Okay, you know what, Dao? The thing is that people is actually seeing. This is so
No
weird.
way.
But
Really?
yeah, weird. Yeah, but I mean, anyway, feel free to share your screen for you to also have visibility.
Yeah, maybe it would be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here, I'm sure. Okay, let me know if you see it now, team. Do you see it full screen? Now I don't see the chat, so I'll read you later. All right, as I was saying, this is our introduction for today. My name is Daute Delgado. I'm security engineer for United Nations International Computing Center, and of course, that I'm lead instructor for Ironhack. Before I was based in Berlin. Right now I'm working for the remote campus, the best one, and earlier, I worked for Vueling. I started my cybersecurity career in Vueling, and then due to the COVID-19, I had to move to Cyberproof, and I worked there as a SOC engineer. Then I got promoted to threat intelligence and incident response manager with a friend, a really good friend. Greetings from here, Raul. But my IT career really started in computer center, a really good company that brought me all the knowledge that I'm using also today. So the question is not about security. The question is that the IT market is growing. And of course, that I'm software certified engineer, Tenable engineer, Azure fundamentals, Azure security engineer, Akamai, and a lot of certification more that maybe don't have a space for that into this slide. So starting from the bottom, as I said, I'm pretty sure that you already know what is the phishing, but this is a type of social engineering where you're receiving something. Normally, it's a mail, okay? Normally, we check our inbox, and maybe the prince of Nigeria, or maybe the prince of Russia, or any important person is writing us, but we don't know this person. This is just any of the 1,000 examples that we could put, but the most famous are coming by this side. And this is designed to trick a person into revealing personal information, but not personal information, sensible information. Why sensible? Because sometimes personal information is just our bot, our names, our name, but sometimes they try to collect also our credit cards, our medical information, and this is sensible information. So the problem is that we are not focused only into the part that they are collecting some credentials. They are collecting everything that we can from us, okay? But not only collecting, sometimes they are injecting malicious code, malicious files into our computers without our permission. Not only that, also they have other purposes. For example, they don't use the credentials, they don't use the credit card, they just want to collect information about us, okay? But as I said before, nowadays we have different types of phishing. It's not just a mail, sadly, nowadays. It's not just SMS. We will explain it later. But first, we need to know where the phishing trend started. It was in the 90s when some crackers, okay, tried to gain access to internet through impersonating AOL. AOL is an email provider, has Outlook, has G Suite or Google, Gmail, has AOL administrators. Okay, so as this was sound in in the US, then they changed to ISP administrators. Do you know what is ISP? Of course, that I'm pretty sure, but you can leave in the chat. I'll read you later. ISP is Internet Service Provider. So imagine that AT&T is calling you and saying, hey, we need to access your network. Please bring us your information. Let us know your username, your password. And of course, that people thought that this was real and the crackers had internet for free. That's the history of phishing, or at least the modern history. How can we detect a phishing? First of all, this type of offers, this type of attacks are really good, as good as it can be true. So they use different psychological tricks to grab your attention, has some pop-ups, maybe colors, maybe some keywords that try to keep you into the screen, and don't think about if it's real or not, because you don't have enough time. Sometimes we are just entering the credentials, we are clicking the link, and that's all. But the problem is that they use real and accurate psychological tricks, okay? So they try to attract your attention as soon as possible. Then we have the URLs, the hyperlinks or attachments. So sometimes we click everything, as I said earlier. This is a problem in internet because we are here, we are present, and internet is so big as nowadays, as you may know, also has a curiosity. IPv4 is expired, and now networks are IPv6. If you already noticed, let me know in the chat also. Why not? So the hyperlinks or attachments always is a tip to recognize a phishing, because these URLs are masks to attract your attention, to put your credentials, to collect your information, as we said before. And the attachments, the problem is that normally they are infected. So if you open the attachment, you are done, because sometimes the antivirus don't recognize this type of activity. Okay, but this is a really complex threat. And then an unusual sender. Why this person is emailing me? I don't know who's this person. Did I register here? I'm expecting this mail. By curiosity, of course, that we click or we open, but we need to think before opening anything. because we can get infected in question of minutes. And the problem is that even if we get infected, the problem is that they are using some persistence techniques that are not letting us to remove the virus, the Trojan, whatever, easily. Okay. Then, what type of phishing exists? Actually, this is just an introduction. So we have more types, okay, but those are the most common ones right now. The first one, and the old school phishing, of course, is the email one. We receive a mail, we take a look. Okay, let's click here and we get infected. Or we enter the credentials and our credentials are collected by the attacker. Okay, in plain text, that's the real problem. They are receiving everything. We'll see later because we have a lab prepared here. But of course, that the attacker is having our credentials in plain text, so they can read everything. They can read our mail and our password without any decryption, without any other action. Spear phishing, also known as target campaigns. Imagine that you work for McDonald's or any other brand, and this brand is receiving a really attractive mail, for example, a new employee benefit. Okay, then you connect to the web page and you enter your credentials. They are trying to gain privilege inside your organization because they'll steal the account, and of course that if the organization has not a really good cybersecurity office, even having it, sometimes the problem is that the people is not reporting the mail, is not reporting that they received a mail that is not used to receive or something. The problem is that they gain access to our company. Okay, the importance of the MFA, okay, multi-factor authentication. Walling. The walling is more focused, sadly not for us, as I guess, right now, for the C-levels, for the owners, for the stakeholders. Why? Because they try to generate maybe a conversation by mail. They try to gain access also to their inbox, to the computer, but with other ways. But they are still using this type of attacks. Okay, smishing. Sometimes I can bet that you receive any SMS, or maybe a person texting you in WhatsApp. You don't have any idea about the DHL package, or maybe you have a problem with your taxes by SMS or WhatsApp. This summer the WhatsApp is trend, so be careful. This is the smishing. And phishing, we are used to see the scams that YouTube is plenty of this type of scams that they are trying to gain access to your computer. They are trying to collect information from your person, etc., by phone. So imagine that now I receive a call, I reply, they are asking, who am I, my mail address, maybe they are coming from Microsoft and they need to check our computer. The problem is that this is not Microsoft, and of course that they are trying to attack us. What type of people do you think that falls into this type of attack? Of course, that people who's used to use our phone at home, that people that is elder people maybe. Why? Because they trust the other side, and this is the real problem in internet, when we trust in something. And the last one is not the real phishing, because they are not trying to collect our information. They are directly attacking our infrastructure. So imagine that you open a Facebook URL, but this is not Facebook. This is maybe facebook.com, and they inject any type of virus into our computer. So of course that we need to receive the mail, we need to receive the SMS, or we need to receive They call go to this web page, click here, and they inject directly into our computer. So they are not collecting information. We are under risk directly clicking this type of links. Okay. How it works? The typical one, of course, phishing. The first step, the attacker sends the mail, then we open it. We go to the phishing website, impersonated, because usually we know or we try to know the sender. Why I say we know? Because they can spoof the mail addresses. They can impersonate this type of mail addresses. So we go to a website that looks legitimate, because it looks, to be honest, I have seen few phishings in the past that they look so real, and of course that I understand that people are falling into it. Then you enter the credentials, and of course that the attacker has access to the control panel, to the script that is receiving the information, and they are generating, of course, this database with the credentials that were successful to collect. Okay, it's simple. It looks really old, but it works. Maybe it's impressive for you, but these type of attacks are costing millions to really big companies every year. So that's the real problem. We need to stop those campaigns, and of course that we need to stop this type of attacks. So the most common phishing attacks, you have some examples here. First, from your university, your old university, or maybe an email account. So your password will expire tomorrow. Oh God, I need to change it. Who's not changing it? Who would say that my university is not sending this type of mails? Okay. Then we have the Apple ID. Of course, that maybe this is familiar for some of you if you have any iPhone or any Apple product. And then we have a compliant. Okay, this would be, as we were saying, maybe a walling or maybe a spear phishing for the company. Okay, so this person download this movie, please download the compliant, and we will check from the document you need to sign there. Once we open the document, we are infected. So the most common ones, if you want to try to identify it, because as I said, sometimes it's really difficult as a normal users, or as IT users, of course, that this is the reason that security teams exist. This one and much more reasons, but this is one of the most common. Verification. You need to verify your account. You need to reset your password. Cloud sharing. Someone shared this file with you in G Drive, in Dropbox, DocuSign. Maybe some of you by this name, you are not familiar with this platform, but DocuSign nowadays is a platform to sign digitally contracts, to sign maybe any offer or whatever. So they are trying to send us this DocuSign URL. Maybe it's a subdomain from the same domain. So we see DocuSign dot the domain.com, and we think that it could be legitimate. So we go there, and of course that we get hacked again. The fake invoice, this is pretty common. Hey, this is the invoice that we talk about, regards. Of course that in a company, the companies are so big, so you don't know if this invoice exists or not. Sometimes as we are rushing, we are working, and of course that we don't want to bother other people, we open it. So we get hacked again. The fake delivery, this is pretty common, and of course that even worse, if we are expecting a delivery, if we are expecting any, for example, any Amazon package that we would receive tomorrow. So we receive this, we open the link, we enter the credentials from Amazon. Of course that they collect our credentials. The last one is the tax scam. Maybe this is depending from your country. Sometimes there are some campaigns, sometimes not. But of course, that if you receive that you then pay your taxes, you know that they will send maybe a postal and a mail, and even they'll call you if you have any problem with your government or with your taxes. So it's not easy. Maybe for IT people or people who's into the market, IT, cybersecurity, it would be easier. But for example, for my parents, I understand that this is not as easy as for us. So we need to spread the word, and of course that letting people know that this is not really normal. Last day, I guess that 2 weeks ago, maybe my mother sent me a link by WhatsApp saying that there was a gas station giveaway. Mom, of course that no one will give you 100 euros for your gas, but they are not understanding it, of course, and it's pretty normal. How can we try to avoid it? Okay, because as I said, it's not normal, it's not easy. It's not normal to receive them, of course, because maybe your mail is compromised if you receive them firstly, and even with that, it's not normal, because if I come back, if you see your university there, or maybe if you see your Apple ID is expiring, maybe you are panicking at this moment. So it's normal that we are not realizing that it could be a fake. Okay, so how can we try to avoid it? First of all, don't trust into the displayed name, because as I said before, our techniques as professionals is also spoofing. We are used to do security awareness campaigns into our companies, so we don't have any problem doing this from inside. The problem is when it's coming from outside. They are impersonating. This is not even legal. So don't trust the displayed name, and try to go further. If you see the mail, maybe it says Google, but when you see the mail address, it's not Google, it's maybe test.com. Okay, so they are just spoofing the name, and they are trying to spoof maybe the email address. Why not? They can do it. Okay, looking is okay. At the moment that I did the presentation some days ago, it was okay. This week we have new that now we are receiving phishing campaigns fileless. The problem of that is that even if we open the mail, we are done, but this is not really usual. Okay, this should be target at the moment, and this is really expensive to do, so no worries, you are not receiving fileless phishing at the moment. So we can check the mail, we can try to decrypt if it's legal, legitimate or not, but don't click anything. Don't click it, because when you click, maybe you are dumb. Okay, and this is pretty useful. I click and I think that maybe clicking but don't enter in the credentials, I'm safe. But this is not true, because maybe you open and in the background the computer is downloading something, or you are running a PowerShell command, or you are creating a scheduled task. Okay, so the attacks are really complex. So the problem is that it's not easy to identify them. Check for spelling errors. Of course, that usually they use Google Translator, and a person who's present here today said me that they are trying to get if the person is how would I explain that? If the person recognized that it's a phishing bad luck, but if the person felt into it, it's because the person is not paying attention for the details. So sometimes you think that the spelling errors are normal because they are using translators, or even they miswrote anything, but this is not true. They are using more techniques, as I said, psychological techniques, to know who can fall into it or not. Okay, So be careful with the spelling. Salutation, of course, that if you are a girl and they are saying, hey, mister, it's pretty clear. No, they don't have any fail. I know that there are several names that maybe you know how is it, but of course that a person who's texting me at the 90% of times know if I am this person or this person. So that's it. Never give any personal information. Never is never, because maybe you are saying just for my name nothing happens, or maybe my name and surname is nothing. No, of course that you have a footprint into internet. They are collecting all the information that they can about you, and this could be a problem in the future, because maybe you see anything published in your name, maybe you see anything that you didn't publish, that you didn't do on internet, and the problem is that they did that. How? Because they collect your information, I would say, okay, general information through this phishing. Of course that I doubt to say that, but if I say personal information, as I say before, sensitive information is the keyword, but never give any credit card information, please, even if it's expired. Why? Because the credit card, sometimes we have uh, several tactics, okay? Has the MFA that I was saying before. Sometimes you need to accept the payment, but sadly they know how to avoid this. And of course that the cybersecurity professionals, we know how to bypass several controls. So don't give any credit card information. Even if it's expired, they can collect information from you. So the point is, if we don't get a scam, better, but trying to avoid to give any information about yourself is the best point, okay? So of course that if someone pays by your name something and you don't recognize it, please call your bank and of course go to the police station. That's it, okay? We cannot do any further action there, but please don't register your credit card information in any service that you don't know if it's legitimate or not, if you can trust into this web page or not, okay? Beware of urgency. Of course that they are saying always when someone is trying to scam you in general, no? It should be done fast. We need this information right now. Please do it in less than 24 hours. If not, we're having a problem or whatever. Be careful. If a person needs you, I'm pretty sure that this person will contact you by other ways, not just only by mail, okay? So if this urgency is real, they have other ways to contact you normally, okay? Of course that if the police is sending you a mail, don't wait until they arrive home. Email signature. This is pretty common because sometimes we are seeing that they try also to impersonate the signatures. And last day I saw a person, the name was Pedro or Peter, and the photo was pretty real. Now we can create fake faces. Of course that we have this type of technologies and they are open source. You can access it right now. You can just Google it. But the signatures, the photo, is not bringing us another score. It's not, should not change us our decision about if it's a phishing or not. Because this is just another technique, as I'm saying. The question is, think, if you try to scam, of course that we are not like this, but if you try to scam, how would you do it? No? So I put the pic into my profile, I would put a signature. If I see that the person can fall into it, I'll put some urgency, I'll ask for some information, I'll say hello with the name. So if you mix everything that you have here, the only last step that we have to decide if it's a real phishing or not is manual testing. So This is for the ones that are really interested knowing if it's phishing or not. Please use Google, use maybe Virus Total, any other platforms that brings you some information about the mail, about the headers, about if it's containing anything or not. Okay. I know that is plenty of information, this slide, but this is pretty good for you, and I'm sure that this is pretty useful, because sometimes, as I was saying, it's so difficult to difference if it's legit or not. Okay. Sorry. Now we will build a security awareness campaign. I was trying to do it in live with you, but the problem is that I know myself and I explain everything, every tab. So I decided to take screenshots. Of course, that I brought you the screenshots here. Into the resources that Vale shared with you, you have the resources tab anywhere in the screen. You have the platform that we will use today. My students from the bootcamp, I know that some of you are present here already know about this, because we were talking about this into last lessons. But the platform that we will use today is GoFish. It's an open source, and I say that it's the most typical one to create this type of security awareness campaigns. So you have the resource with the GoFish link around here. So we are needing, of course, a VPS or a host, but normally a VPS, a virtual private server, would be okay. Then we are needing a domain. Of course, that we need to buy a domain, because we are not running a phishing campaign into our local host. Then we are needing a SSL TLS certificate. We can generate it for free, of course. How? With Let's Encrypt and certbot. Okay, certbot is the name. And of course, that we will need a mail server. Okay, normally when you buy VPS, sometimes it brings you a mail server and a domain for free. Sometimes you need to buy it spare. But normally the mail server, if you don't have anything, you can install it into the own machine. Okay. Of course, that from here I'll explain you with some blurs, because the information is censored. Further than that, this presentation is how to create a security awareness campaign. Okay, know how to attack your network tomorrow. So please take this value information carefully and use it in the proper way. I'm not responsible for any action that you do from your side. This is once we installed the GoFish web server. Okay, it's running. We will go to our local host, our IP address, and we will arrive to this landing page. From here, we can create the campaigns. Okay, the name of the campaign, of course, that this would be your company name. Okay, then the email template and the landing page that we built earlier. This is pretty simple, and of course that I know that some of you already have some HTML and CSS notions, so that's all. With this you can create everything. However, our there Vale into the resources just paste some phishing templates, okay, that were into the repo from GoFish, but they had problems, of course, due that there are bad people everywhere, and they had to remove it from there due to the copy. But it got modified and it got adapted from some users in GitHub, and you have the resource into the resources tab. Okay, so if you want some GoFish templates, I just found the link for you. Today we will work with the potential compromised mailbox. Okay, the URL should be our local host if you want to try by yourself, or the domain that we bought earlier. The launch date pretty clear, and send mail by if you want to create this campaign from today to 3 days more. The mails will be sent in rows, okay, not all together. So maybe this is a good point because the employees are not talking among them that they are receiving a fish, if it's real or not, etc. The sending profile, as I was saying earlier, is our mail, the mail server that we will use, and the group. The group, of course, is the target. This is the phishing that I create for you. Of course, sorry for the Spanish. It was created for a Spanish campaign. I know that there is some blur. So this is coming from, is supposed to come from a cybersecurity department. So it's no reply. It's even better because people, if they see no reply, sometimes the no reply is because this inbox is autonomous. So no one is looking for it. So no one replies, okay? Of course, that's the idea. Good. Add and the address from your domain, okay? The subject, the best subject that you can find for a phishing campaign. And two, of course, that it says to me, but it was sent to the whole company. So your inbox is potentially compromised. Hi, blah, blah, blah. Daute at this case. Hi, myself. Your webmail account is compromised. We blocked your account for your own security. So please come to those links and then check your account. Into the signatures, as I was saying, I just changed department in Spanish is departamento, and here I changed departamento, department, for departamento, okay? So, of course, that is misspelled. But what about if I say that I got more than 20 persons that didn't read properly the mail, that clicked there and they submit all the information? That's the reason that we are here today with this webinar. This is the redirection that they had. At this case, it's available, okay, into the templates. This is uploaded. If you see this, of course, that I can think that this is a real web page. This is a real landing page from Office 365. Where is the key here? First, the quality of the image. Microsoft is not using this image. Maybe from your screen you are not looking it really good, but the quality is a bit poor, okay? It could be a really rendered image that could be used from Microsoft. Then the URL, I highlighted there. The URL is webmail.tld. Of course, that it has a tracker after this with the ID of the person, but this is not real. This is a service from Office 365. So if you are using maybe services from Office 365 in your company, it would be easier to follow it, but if not, nothing to do here, okay? And then, of course, the title of the web page is saying sign into Microsoft Online Services. So as I was saying, maybe for us it's clear, or maybe for you this image makes you doubt, but of course that other people is not used to recognize this type of activities. This is how our stats page looks like. So we have the mails sent, the email opened, the clicked links, and the submit data. We can configure it, of course, for the inbox that we have for cybersecurity, for example, or phishing at ourcompany.com, and checking there who reported the mail, okay? So we can collect this information directly from the platform. And I remember, yeah, that this is an open source, so you can download it and right now build it, okay? And a map, of course, maps, cybersecurity equals maps, okay? Don't forget that. This is my timeline. So of course that I submit data for all of you, team, that is more impressive. You can put also the last name. There are variables that we can configure into the mail. Okay, so Daute was because I put the variable for the first name. Then we are having last name and position, and of course the status and if it was reported or not. And then we have a short timeline. Okay, this was today actually. So you can check that the campaign was created, the email was sent at the same moment, 1 second later. So it's pretty effective. And then you click in the link and you submit the data. You can replay the credentials, okay? The credentials option is a check mark. So if you want to collect them, it's okay. But of course, that this type of awareness are not done to collect the passwords from the employees. The idea is who submit any data, who clicks there. Because 2 or 3 years ago, we were saying, okay, but it's good. There is no problem if we click and we joke. Okay, this was pretty common into the companies, but nowadays, as I say, fileless and farming is present, so it's even more complicated to identify them. And then, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Then I'd like to thank you, Vale, of course, that invite me as always, and of course that my ex-student Raul Rios that helped me with this presentation and with the GoFish platform. We built it for the recent project that we worked together. So of course that my Ironhack student is with me. As I say here, Q&A now. If you have any question, I'll check right now the question box. My docs, this is my GIF when I end any presentation for Ironhack since the first one. And of course that if you are not into my promotion, as I know that there are some students that are right now with me, I hope to see you in my next promotion. Cybersecurity right now is trend. As you see, it's not easy, even with an easy topic as it would be phishing. So imagine how is the market right now with everything. So if you need any information about the bootcamp, you have a box around here to check and they'll send you the information. So thank you all for coming, and now questions. I'll stop sharing. Okay. You are on mute, ¿vale?
Hey.
Ahora. Hello.
So sorry. Yes, I don't know what happened. Maybe where my AirPods fell. I was just saying that it was great. Thanks a lot for this session. And I was I'm super agree with what you just mentioned about how cybersecurity it's becoming a huge, like it's so good for people that are actually getting into cyber. I'm so impressed with the fact that, well, from our outcomes teams, the bootcamp, the cybersecurity bootcamp is actually the only one that doesn't have a percentage of unemployment. And I think that's so impressive in so many ways. But yeah, it was just a random comment. And now we actually do have 2 questions. So I will send 2 to the slides. Let me know if you are able to see it. Otherwise, like, we can read it. Do you see it, Dao?
No, I mean, I have the inbox here, but I don't see into the screen, so maybe.
Okay.
I don't know what happened today with the List Studio, but.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, yeah. So actually, Jan is asking, it's possible to be phished only by clicking a link without entering any information or credentials?
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Jem, for the question. Pretty interesting. I have to say, yes, you have two ways. Okay, normally. So there are even more, but the common ones are, of course, that you have an ID, okay, into the mail that they send you. So if you click a link, they know that you open the link, okay. Then the mail contain a tracker. So if you open the mail, even without opening the link, they can control if you opened the mail. So of course that they can control it. And the third option is, actually we have three, not two. Nice. And the third option is that you can get farmed, okay? So imagine that you access to the web page, you think that nothing is happening, but in the background, there is a PowerShell script running, for example. There is any malicious code injecting something into your computer. So your your answer is yes. And even the fileless has, we were saying, not for common people, not for us at the moment, lucky us, but in the near future, maybe we see mails that even just opening the mails, the own mails nowadays is possible, but now it's like the next generation. They are downloading malicious code into our computers. So yes, sadly we are under attack, and of course that I'm under risk every day at any moment. Yes. You are on mute, Vale, or something.
Yeah, now you hear me, right? Sorry.
Yes.
I was saying that Nora is asking, very related to the question you just answered, and does the same apply to the link sent by CMS? CMS?
SMS. Yes. Correct.
SMS.
Yeah, it contains an ID, okay? So if you see after the domain, normally it contains an encode something, okay? Normally, maybe it's your phone number, maybe it's a unique ID, okay? So maybe not the tracker, Nora, I have to say it, okay? Because I'm not really familiar with the smishing. Maybe it doesn't contain any tracker, because I guess that this is not possible if it's not a certified sent by your own company or something, own company ISP, or by Apple, for example, or Android or Samsung. I don't really know, but I guess that it doesn't contain a tracker, but they can track if you click or not. And of course that they can inject malicious code even in a mobile phone, of course. Correct.
Okay. And Sylvia is asking, can you see or store those credentials?
Yes, just if you check the option for the credentials collection, you'll be able to see in plain text the passwords, because the mail is always collected, of course, that you are sending to this mail. So yes, of course. But the password is being stored only if you click this option, okay? Anyway, this is not a good practice. As I was saying, the idea is to check how is the maturity of the team, of our employees, and not collecting any personal information, okay? So this is not a really good practice.
Okay. And now Luis Felipe is asking, do you see the question now
See,
on the screen?
do you know of an email? No, on the screen, no. In our box.
Yes, on our box. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so do you know of an email client known for their security features, for example, for automatically detecting suspicious mails? Is this even possible? Of course, that is possible. Recently, we deployed an EDR. EDR is an endpoint detection and response. It's like an enterprise antivirus, and it contains that you can connect Office 365, so your mail server, okay, mail services that you are using for the company, and you can create some policies that are just analyzing the mails when are received. So if any attachment is not usual, or any sender, for example, you don't have any relation with Bulgaria, you receive something from Bulgaria, the heuristic is not normal. So the behavior from the platform is just to quarantine this mail, and then you will decide if it's suspicious or not. So yes, it exists several nowadays. We have several in companies. Okay, if you are talking about your own mail, your Gmail, normally they don't, maybe they redirect to a spam inbox folder, but normally you are receiving everything, okay? Because it's not a company and you don't have any policy applied for it, okay? But yes, it exists, Luis. Your answer is yes. Maybe it's a bit expensive. In another point, for example, the enterprise license for Office is E3 or E5 normally, and these two types of licenses contains this detection for suspicious mails. Correct.
Awesome. Well, we actually don't have any more questions until now. So, guys, if in case you have any last minute question, let us know. And in the meantime, I would love to actually encourage you, in case that you guys want to take the leap into cybersecurity, you guys just have to click on the link. I'm sure. Let me know if you are seeing what I think you are seeing, but in the slides you are able to click on the URL. And if you don't, I can share the link in the chat. This is basically the link where you guys will have all the information about our upcoming cybersecurity bootcamps. Okay, all the information, next cohorts, well, starting dates according with your location and language. And we actually received a question now in the meantime.
So the question, I don't see in the screen. So yeah, I see in the box. So yeah, if we use O365, if we have to take any further action regarding the suspicious mails, the safe link that Luis was talking about. Normally, yes. Okay, it depends from the security infrastructure from the company, but of course that this depends, because maybe you can trick the headers from the mail and it's not being detected. But this is the next level, and of course that this is a point that we are learning into the bootcamp, how to spoof headers, how to spoof the sender. So you need to take further actions, correct? But if you are a good hacker and cracker, the case of the bad people, you don't need to do anything further than trying it. Can you trust this URL?
This is a good one, I swear God.
Yes. Yeah. And another question.
Right.
This is from Richard. Thank you, Daute, for your insightful presentation. Thank you, Richard, for coming, and hope to meet you soon, of course.
All right. Well, thanks a lot to everyone. And of course, thank you, Dao, for this amazing presentation and for guiding us through all these techniques. And yeah, I really hope to see you all in our next cohort with Dao as a teacher. So yeah, have a wonderful afternoon and see you soon. Bye,
See you
guys.
soon. Ciao.
Thanks. Chaito.